dragging my words because I'm like, I don't know why I have anxiety telling y'all. I don't regret it. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Why am I so nervous telling y'all this story? Hello my loves, Sendal here coming at you with another video, and as you can see, my atmosphere is a little different. I'm in my new house filming this video. I'm sorry that it's been like forever since I posted a video or whatever, but like anyway, I just want to come on here because I have so much to talk to y'all about, and like they're gonna be like, oh my god, man, it's so dumb. She must be broke. She must not be doing good. Why the hell would she do that? Like, well, if you want to know, keep watching, and by the time you get to the end of this video, you'll understand at the beginning it may not make that much sense, but the longer you watch, the more it'll make sense, and you're gonna be like, say less. So let's get into this video, you guys. So I know the title of this video may be really, really weird to you guys. Like, oh my God, what do you mean? Like, kill the program? Well, somebody was to ask me, what title or what name would you give the year 2018? I would call 2018, that chapter, I would name that chapter Killing the Program. What do I mean by killing the program? Well, let me explain. I know you guys are probably wondering, what is this big, huge announcement Sin's been talking about? Well, most of you guys know me from obviously the type of work that I do and for my product, the Sendal Selection. Now, the Sendal Selection will not end, but I have been going through a completely amazing rebranding phase. And for the rebranding phase of the Sendal Selection, you are gonna have to stay to the end to see it. And when I tell you it's big, it's big, bro. Every somebody says scientifically, everybody automatically like shuts down. But if something happens right now while you're watching this video and you like pass out and you start to feel your heart flutter, you're gonna pick up the phone and you're gonna call 911, and that's gonna be doing what? Calling on science. So yeah, like I was saying, girl, it is scientifically proven that we are being programmed from ages 0 to 7. So from the ages of 0 to 7, if you've ever seen a kid, they act just like their mother or auntie or uncle, somebody that is around that child somebody that is around that child in a repetitive way, that child is going to emulate their behavior. Why? Because from the ages of 0 to 7, we are being programmed a certain way. Now, for the most part, like, if you come from a family like in the medical field or something like that, or if all of your family is athletes, right? So if your whole family is athletes, everybody play football, everybody go to the league or close to it, and then you're a person who's like, oh, I want to work on computers. Everybody in your family gonna be like, wait, what? Because that's so far out of the box. Now, depending on the type of family that you are a part of, that family could then, you know, turn their back on you, or not necessarily turn their back on you, but make you feel so much judgment that you begin to stray away from that thing that you wanted to do. And then you end up switching your program. You end up switching the program like, okay, this is what we've all been programmed to do. Everybody knows there's one person in the family who's always different than everybody else. There's always that one person. You could be that person watching the video, or your cousin or somebody, or your sister, cousin, baby mama, whatever could be that person. But everybody has that person in their family that kind of goes against the grain, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. Now, whenever your family, if you're a part of one of those families, either one or two things happen. Either you're by yourself off in a corner and all of your family calls you weird, or you just decide like, okay, if I can't beat them, let me just go ahead and join them, and then you go ahead on doing what everybody else is doing. So then from that sense, you just go ahead with the repetitive nature that we're taught, right? So you just decide to go ahead and do that. And the more you do it, whether it was once you became an adult, like if it was a career day, maybe one day when you were a kid, or like whenever you were in high school, and then it pushed you, you know, in the opposite direction, whatever it was, somehow your program was shifted from the one that you were supposed to have to the one that your surroundings wanted you to have. Correct? Okay. So then that could be a reason why, when you're on a job and even though you've made it to one level, every time you get to one level, you're not even fulfilled by that thing that you've accomplished, by that thing that you've done. Like, you've been working so hard. Like, you've been working 4, 5, 7, 8 years to get to this one goal. You meet it and you're like, damn, that did not feel as good as I thought it was going to feel. Let me do something else, because you're chasing something. You don't know what you're chasing, but you're chasing something else. I can tell you what it is. You're on the wrong program, right? Okay, so that's person number one. Person number two, this is the category that I fit into. I was that person. I was in group number one, right? I was a person that went against the grain of my family and all of my surroundings and everything of that nature. Like, most of the women on my father's side of the family are somewhat in the medical field, like nurses, stuff like that. My mother's side of the family, I mean, yeah. So I was that person that kind of went against the grain and was like, okay, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And everybody was like, oh, like doing hair, that's not gonna make enough money. You're not gonna make no money doing that. But I was that person that stepped away from everybody and was like, screw y'all, I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it, and if y'all think it's not a good idea, oh well, right? That was me. Sounds great, right? Yes. However, there is still another way you could be programmed, baby. And listen, I'm telling you what I know. There's another way you can be programmed. You can be programmed by your surroundings. You can be programmed by the things that you interject yourself into. And for me, I was programmed by my industry. I'm gonna get some stuff off of this girl. Ooh. Okay, so, and this is what I mean by I was programmed by my industry. Whenever you're in cosmetology school, and we talked about that before, 5 things that the cosmetology industry does not want you to know. I'm gonna leave that link in the description box below. But we're programmed in cosmetology school, like, okay, whenever you go to cosmetology school, once you get out, they don't really teach you anything. So then when you get into the industry, social media, other hairstylists that you talk to that's been in the game forever, they tell you that the way that you grow your business is by doing specials, by doing, 2-for-1 deals. I'm doing $50 sew-ins, all of that. Beginning of my career, my dad always told me, like, you teach people how to treat you. And at the beginning of my career, I taught everybody, because I was programmed by my industry, that I don't have a set worth. I taught people as soon as I came into the industry that my worth can be bargained for. That's what I taught people walking into the industry. And that's what hairstylists do. We be like, oh, yeah, I know I charge $200, but I'm doing a $50 special. We all start off in the industry thinking that to grow our clientele, we have to show people that we can be bargained. Like our skill level, that we've spent thousands and sometimes hundreds and thousands of dollars as it pertains to growing your education, that we can be bargained for, right? So that was the first thing, right? The next thing that I fed into in my industry was social media. And as it pertains to social media, I mean this. Obviously, all of these things are things that you need to do. You need to have a social media presence. You do need to do that. So I was under the impression that I had to compete on social media. So I would be on Instagram, because at the time Instagram started popping and you had to have Instagram. Like, you ain't nobody if a bunch of people ain't following you on Instagram, right? So I started to promo myself. I started to like dig deep into all of these private promotion groups on Kik and things of that nature. And then I would spend like hours on social media, like comparing myself to other people. There are a lot of hairstylists that are not going to admit that they do this, but when it's something that you love, that you're passionate about, sometimes you can't help but to be like, if you post a video and it's 5, 6, 7, 8 other people in your niche that you feel like you're just as good as, if not better, and you looking and it's like, what the hell? Like, so like clock watching. So I began to get more obsessed with, so now at this point, I'm completely programmed by my industry now, right? Because I've introduced myself as a person whose skill level can be bargained, and then I'm in competition constantly with other people. So it became more so like look at my work than perfecting my work. Even though I was perfecting my craft, Lord knows I was perfecting my craft, I was so in tune with like followers and stuff like that. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have to be a celebrity stylist, not knowing that most people that do celebrities aren't even making money. A lot of these celebrities want you to do their hair for an Instagram shout out or something like that. You know, that's not everybody. Hands down, there are amazing stylists that's getting their money. However, the majority of these celebrities, especially the reality star people, they all want you to work for free, right? So that was thing number two. The third thing that sucks you in, it makes you think like, as a cosmo, especially if you're a full cosmetologist, if you have a full cosmetology license, you're licensed to do everything from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. I'm a braider, like I can do makeup, I can do nails, I can do weaves, and look, granted, there are people who do all things, but sometimes like we just have our hand in so many different pots instead of perfecting one thing at a time. Number four, I think, is the greatest myth in the field of cosmetology ever. And that is, oh my God, when a hairstylist gets to the height of her career, when she makes the most money, she's basically like hairstylist success on the outside world. A hairstylist in real life who been in the game for a while and is a vet and not a rookie knows this. If you don't know this, most likely you're still in the rookie department, which is okay. But most people think that, like, oh my God, Sin, you gotta get your own shop. Been there, done that. We'll have a conversation about that. I know many great hairstylists that have opened their own shop and been like, oh, nope, you can have that, right? And that's, once again, there are people who really, really want that, but that's if it's your path. Remember, this whole thing is about your program specifically, right? So anywho, they make you feel like, oh my God, you gotta open up your own shop. So I was like, okay, let's do it. I set my plan in motion. I got the money together. I didn't have to take out no loans, no business loans. Had everything fully furnished and everything. And I had a full staff. And let me say this. We're gonna talk numbers because I feel like if I pull out receipts and I talk numbers, then it'll give more, it'll make what I'm saying more valid. Because listen, I'm telling you what I know. I'm not sitting here like, oh, I've been on Google doing my research and I'm gonna tell them now. They're gonna love this. No, that is not what happened. I'm telling you what I know. How do I tell you what I know? Because I've already lived it, okay? So, got the shop, got everything done, got it fully furnished. Let me say this. The room that I'm in right now, the small, I mean, not small, it's cute, but the studio that I work in now is $1,500 a month, $375 a week. Okay, $375 a week, $1,500 a month. It's just me in there. I don't have any assistants. I don't have nobody in there working with me. I don't have nobody else paying my booth rent. $1,500 a month is how much my studio costs. Okay. And this is Solar Salon prices. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I got money. No, if you have a studio at Solar, that's how much you pay. Solar Salons, I'll leave the information in the description box below. There's a receipt for you. Go research it for yourself, girl. So the shop that I had was $1,696, $1,696. So $1,700 a month, $200 more than what I pay right now. So I think just from those numbers alone, you know that I did not close my shop down because I did not have the money to sustain it, or to because I didn't have the money to sustain the shop, or because I couldn't afford my bills or anything like that. Granted, so I can't say $200 more because then you got lights and like utilities and things like that on top of it. So let's just go ahead and round it up to $2,000, okay? Keep in mind, everybody paid booth rent. Everybody that was renting a studio, everybody that was renting a session for me, it was $175 a week, right? Okay, so whenever you get into the salon business, it's like, oh yeah, you got your own shop. But what you don't know is, yes, you have your own shop, but you also have your own children. Because I'm sorry, but first of all, hairstylists, they move around a lot. Like a lot. I don't even deal with nobody says when you open a salon and you have to have a certain type of mentality. It has to be something that you've always wanted to do, not something that you just do because it's the regular program that everybody follows. Because baby, listen, it's not just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna open it up and people are gonna pay me money to work here and it's gonna be great. Girl, bye. Everybody that's there, they are all women that work together. They argue. Oh my God, she took my client. My client went over there. Oh my God, I was gonna be able to pay boo friend, but I can't because my baby daddy got the car. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't pay boo friend this week or the next week. Can I work here for free? I ain't got no clients. Can I go on commission? Shit like that. Okay, like, bro. Listen, we can go on forever with that. If y'all want to hear about that, let me know. Y'all done messed up my bag. Girl, we can have a full-fledged conversation about that. That is a whole nother story that I will do a video on if you guys want to see it. So if you want to see that, then leave it in the comments below. Okay, so like I said, if you'll hear that story later if you want to hear it, but shop, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, all that jazz. If I wanted, I'm making, mind you, that was like 7 years ago, 7 years ago. So I make triple, over triple, 10 times the amount of money that I made then now. So if I could do it then, I can definitely do it now. That is not on my program. This is the final and like whatever. I'm gonna take a whole sip of this. Ooh, I'm gonna have some people talking some shit, girl. You've went with the program, right? Try different things. You didn't try to shop. I'm like, oh, okay, nope, I don't want to do that. So the next thing I was like, oh, okay, well, everybody else, they either open a shop or they'll like get a product line. I can do that. Let me figure out how to start a private labeling company because this person made a whole bunch of money. We'll do a whoop, and I'm doing all of my research, figuring out how to grow my brand, how to grow my business as it pertains to the product line. I started off, like I said, I'll leave that video link in the description box below. I tried this salon. I don't really like that. So let me start my own product line. So I started doing my research. Went into, you already know the story, like private labeling company, started with them. I didn't like, they like sent me the wrong order like 10, 11, 12, 13 times, whatever. Like, yeah, moved on. Went to school, learned product formulation. Yes, went to school, learned how to do it myself. Went to school, paid money, went to school. Yes. For product formulation, learned how to formulate my own products. And when I say formulate my own products, I mean everything that I sell starts off as water, wax, oil, water, wax, oil, preservative, all of that different stuff. Like literally from the inside of a hair strand to the out. Like, okay, so learn how to formulate product, blah, blah, blah. So mind you, I've already grown my brand. Like I already have my name out there pretty big. People know who I am, blah, blah, blah. Stuff happens with Instagram. Link in the description box below, whatever. So once the stuff happened with Instagram last year, when my Instagram got disabled, and then I switched over to YouTube. Before Instagram happened, like we were already doing stupid numbers in sales, right? So then this comes along and I'm like, oh my God. So it's like tripled. My sales have like quadrupled, tripled with YouTube, right? So I'm like, okay. Like I said, there's a difference between what you gross and there's a difference between the money that you make and the money that actually goes into your bank account. And let me explain. So, let's say we make $100,000, we made $100,000 for Black Friday, right? So out of that $100,000, let's say out of that $100,000, I'm not gonna tell you exactly how many orders it is, you guys, because I'm just throwing a ballpark figure out there because I don't want to tell y'all the exact amount of money that we made. But like, let's say we make $100,000 or whatever. I just need you to understand with USPS, 20 labels is $140. Just 20 labels is $140. Let's do some math real quick. So let's say 200 orders. So 200 orders times $8.79, which is what they charge here in Vegas. That's $1,700, right? $1,700 just for only 200 labels, right? is $1,700, almost $1,800 for 200 labels, okay? So just imagine how much money I spend, how much money you have to spend on labels if you have $100,000 worth of orders, okay? So that $100,000, that's dwindling very quick, okay? So let's do some more math. Let's say it's 4,000 orders. Let's say it's 4,000 orders, right? It's $35,000, okay? So if I make $100,000, right? And that $100,000 is from 4,000 orders. Shipping labels cost $35,000 out of that $100,000, okay? We went from $100,000 to, so we have just went from $100,000 to $65,000. But wait, there's more. Keep in mind, I make the products by hand. So let's go ahead and deduct about another, for me to put my products, for me to put the money back into my business, because that's what you have to do. Most people will tell you, unless they like hit gold or like unless they got lucky or something, which is amazing. Most businesses, it takes them anywhere from 4 to 6 years before they even gross profit, right? Okay, so we had 65,000, right? But then I put the money back into the business because I make all of the products by hand. Let's talk about the bottles, right? About 6,000 from that, okay? Yeah. So now we're out of $100,000. Now we're at 59,000, right? Okay. So keep in mind the packages, USPS, they send those. You don't have to pay for those. But then you have to do the labels. The labels that come on the bottles, because remember, the bottles come like naked. They don't come with anything on them. It's around about $7,000 for all of the labels, because keep in mind, I said 4,000 orders. I didn't say each person that has 4,000 orders only order one product, right? So now we're at 65,000, you guys. So from 65,000, I'm gonna say labels for all of the products and stuff normally runs us about 10,000, right? Normally runs us about 10,000, right? Okay. So now we're at 55,000, right? So mind you, that first number, I didn't mean to say, I'm sorry, that first number was just for the actual bottles, not the actual product that it takes to go inside of the bottle. So the actual shampoo, all of that stuff, all of those ingredients that I buy for $100,000 worth, let's go ahead and deduct another about 15,000. Okay? So now we're at 40. So from $100,000, we're at $40,000, right? And so it's me, my husband, and my mom, but then I have 2 employees. So then I have to pay them. So at the end of all of that, with the $100,000, at the end of all of that, we're left with, after we pay them, we're left with a roundabout, after all of our final expenses, because this is a roundabout. And mind you, this is not my number, so I'm just giving like an overall synopsis and trying to give you a really good example. But like we're left with 40,000 after I pay everybody and handle the last of everything, put all of the money back into the business. Anybody that we could have forgot, mind you, it costs money to run the website, the person who builds the website, all of that, it costs money. So after everything's said and done with, after we made $100,000 for Black Friday, we're keeping about 30,000, right? So with me saying that may seem like a lot of money to some people, but it's not. That's not a lot of money, because baby, listen, we sold $100,000 worth of product. I did $100,000 worth of work, baby, and I only made 20,000. That might as well be like 20, right? That might as well be 20. And mind you, I'm just giving you a figure. It could be way lower than that, and I'm like way lower than that. So when it comes to the product line makes me the least amount of money out of all of the businesses that I do, but causes me the most amount of stress, right? So I know a lot of people are probably watching this like, oh my God, it comes with the territory. Listen, it comes with the territory if that is my program. If that's not my program, it does not come with the territory. It doesn't come with my territory, baby, because it's not in my program. And I really, really hope that that makes sense, because listen, there may be somebody, there's somebody watching this, that's in your program. So you live for it. Like, you live for it. It doesn't bother you. It's not a big deal, but I can't. Like, for example, somebody will order a product on Monday. No, somebody will order a product on Friday night at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then they'll write you on Monday like, I want a refund, where's my product, and different things like that. Listen, all of that to say this, the place that I'm at in my life right now, peace is like, I feel like such an old person saying this, because peace is just my main objective. Like, that is all that I am concerned about. And anything in my life that disrupts my peace, that takes me out of peace, that makes me unhappy, then I'm gonna stop it. I don't give a damn what anybody says. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care if people think it's stupid. I don't care if people be like, oh, it's not making her no money. I'm gonna say this, and this is the only thing that I am going to say to address this. Whenever people make comments like this below, I'm not even gonna address that. Let me say this, I'm a businesswoman, and I'm a very good businesswoman. Everything that I have around me, I'm not talking about like my house or anything like that, but just everything that I have around me, me and my husband have built literally with our two hands. Both of us are entrepreneurs. Like, I'm not apologizing to anybody for anything, because all of the anxiety that I've had over the years has been dependent on sticking with this program that my industry presents to me. And the one thing that makes me happiest is the one thing that they tell me not to do, which is like YouTube. For the longest, I've had YouTube since 2010. Yeah, I've had this YouTube channel since 2010, 2011, I can remember. But no, way before that. I'll put it in the description box below, or I'll put it up here, somewhere right here. It's gonna be right here how long I've had it. But I've had this YouTube channel forever, but I never got on it because everybody in my industry was like, oh girl, you don't make videos on YouTube. You don't make videos on YouTube showing people what you do. You don't make a video on YouTube showing people what you do, showing them your techniques on how you do hair, because they're going to take your clients from you. Like, everybody in the industry thinks that if they share something with somebody, it's going to take something from them. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm about to teach people how to do this, but they going to pay me. Listen, I don't think people really understand this, and I didn't understand it. And that's why this is titled Killing the Program, because when you understand, you can kill the program. Listen, if you want to produce something, if you want amazing things to happen for you, baby, you need to be okay with putting other people in position. Putting other people in position does not mean, oh girl, teach me how to do this, teach me how to do that. It could just mean that you're a person of value. You provide some type of value to somebody. That's what makes me happy. The thing that makes me the most happy is the one thing that I strayed away from in my industry, because it was the one thing that everybody strays away from. Like, it's so many great artists that are not on YouTube because they're so worried about, especially when it comes to frontals and closures and all of that. Like, there are so many hairstylists that suck at frontals and closures, and there are so many frontals and closures on YouTube. There are some excellent hairstylists on YouTube that do some closures and frontals, and it don't matter how many times these stylists watch them, they still suck, you know. And I feel like it's all because of the way that we see ourselves as these small, minute, fragile beings that are like just shaken, and we're shaken and we're moved by every wind that blows, because we don't know who we are. We don't know who we are because we're all operating off the wrong program. So you're operating off the wrong program. You don't know the right one. You don't know what to say because those words that you're using don't fit your program. So you don't even know how to respond in that sense. And it wasn't until I recognized that I learned who I was and where I fit into my industry. And let me say this, understand that, like I said, I am a businesswoman. So if I shut my product line down, understand that it has to be because I make double or triple what I make with the product line with another business. and that is not gonna hurt me whatsoever. My product line does amazing. I am so grateful. Words cannot even describe how grateful I am for everybody who has supported me thus far. But I just have to be happy, and I have to do what makes me happy, and the product line is not it. It's just not. And I think one problem that a lot of hairstylists have, and it's not even just for the hair industry, I'm only speaking of the hair industry repetitively because that's the industry that I'm a part of. All of these things can go for anything. If you're an architect or if you're a nurse, everybody follows a certain program of a way that things have to be done. Obviously, there are laws and things of that nature, the way that things have to go. But as it pertains to your individuality as a person, as an artist, or whatever it is that you do, like, it should be what you want to do. And that's not what I want. It's not what I want. It's not something that makes me happy. Everybody is not meant to be a customer service representative. Everybody is not meant, listen, the way Jesus made me, no, absolutely not. Baby, listen, YouTube is for me because it's called YouTube. YouTube means it's your tube. They just took the R off because it looked cuter with just the U, okay? But listen, YouTube is just for you. And on here, I can say whatever I want, okay? Like, people love leaving their little comments, but let me tell you something, like, all jokes aside, that is another example of people being programmed. People are programmed to believe one form of social media. You all watching this video are not everybody, but the majority of the people that are on YouTube, especially the trolls and the grandchildren, yes, you guys all believe that people who are on social media, once I get a YouTube, that you can come on my page and say whatever in the hell you want to say to me, and then I'ma just be like, oh my God, I'm sorry that you feel that way. No, YouTube, because it's YouTube, it's your tube. I can say whatever I want, and I can post whatever I want. If you don't like it, you can say something all you want to, but just know that if you bring it, you better have a hard hat on, because the days of the programming where you can come and troll on people's page and they just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna keep swiping, that era is dead. That form of social media and YouTube, it's over with, especially here in Sendout land, you guys. So yes, I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna get a lot of grief from this. I know that there is a bunch of hairstylists in my industry watching like, oh my God, that is so dumb, or whatever. People have negative thoughts, and that's fine, because peep this though. Your thoughts are going on in your head, okay? And they're going on in your head, not in mine. Because in my head, when I say this is the most free I have ever been, you guys, and like, whatever thoughts are going on in your head, that's you. That's not me. Whoever thinks that this is a bad idea, none of you have to live my life but me. So everybody can have whatever opinion that they want, but I listen to other people, and when I listen to other people, the results, I'm the only person experiencing the results from me listening to other people. Now, let me say this. I will say it very clearly, because I think at this point, you guys understand what I'm saying. The Sendout selection, as it pertains to it being a product line, is like dead. It's like null and void, you guys. I'm done with my product line. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I'm gonna have it available for my clients to purchase. But for sure, you guys will always see it used on my clients, but I will not be selling it to the public anymore, you guys. Yeah, I don't really know how else to say it, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And like I said, in closing, that's me killing the program, you guys. Like, I'm sorry if it makes anybody feel any type of way, but I have killed the program completely. That's why 2018 for me was called killing the program, because I decided I'm done. Everybody who already has placed an order, everybody who's already paid money, like, your order's on the way. Like, so I'm not like, oh, I'm shutting it down and whoever ordered not getting their stuff. No, that's not how it is. But I'm done with the product line, you guys, and like I said, killing the program, this repetitive cycle is like everybody's like, oh my God, yes, you get a product line, baby. Listen, it's way more that goes into it than that. Now, if the product line was all I did, like all I did and all I was passionate about, then okay. But that's not what I'm passionate about. What I'm passionate about is the one thing that the program that I was following told me to avoid. So I've completely killed my program. Now I'm all in for number 6. I am so blown away, and I'm gonna leave all of the testimonials here, you guys. I am so blown away by the reaction that I get from you ladies that are taking my online courses. I get more gratification knowing that you've been praying for something for months. There's so like hundreds, thousands of women that are emailing me telling me that they've been praying for things and that my ebooks have literally answered their prayers word for word, the way that God asked them to, the way that they asked God to answer them. Listen, that is it, you guys. In the beginning, there was the word be intentionally redundant. Talk about the things that you want. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. Success is freedom. Success feels like success is the ultimate definition of freedom. You experience success when your energy is right, when you don't have negativity. Listen, I am letting everything negative go. That's people, businesses, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't bring me joy, if it brings me out of peace, I'm not doing it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it didn't make nobody feel no type of way. If it did, I don't know what to tell you, girl. Cause girl, I'll be chilling, girl. Bye, girl.